The house was silent, the pre-dawn stillness broken only by the faint hum of the city outside. My wife Rachel hadn't come home last night. Her text claiming a late work event at her marketing firm. We've been married 5 years. Our life once filled with shared laughs and dreams of a family, but a recent secrecy, guarded phone, vague excuses had eroded my trust. At 6:00 a.m., the front door creaked open and Rachel stepped in, her hair disheveled, her eyes avoiding mine. I sat at the kitchen table, my final letter to her resting in front of me. I'd known something was wrong for weeks. Her late nights, her locked phone, the way she'd pull away from my touch. Last night, unable to sleep, I checked her laptop, finding messages with a coworker, David, planning a night out that wasn't work-related. The truth hit like a punch. She'd spent the night with him. I didn't confront her when she walked in. Instead, I slid the letter across the table, my voice calm. "Read it," I said, my heart heavy but resolute. Rachel's hands trembled as she picked up the letter, her face paling as she read my words. "I know about David. I'm leaving. You've made your choice." Her eyes filled with tears, her voice breaking. "Tom, it was a mistake," she whispered. But the scent of another man's cologne clung to her, a silent confirmation. I stood, my bag already packed, and said, "You spent the night with him. We're done." Her sobs followed me as I walked to the door, but I didn't look back. I drove to a friend's place, the city waking around me, Rachel's texts flooding my phone, apologies, pleas to talk. But I didn't respond. I thought of our marriage, her smile over morning coffee, our plans for a future together now shattered by her betrayal. The letter wasn't revenge. It was closure, a refusal to be her fallback while she chased something else. Her night with David had broken us, but my leaving was my stand. At my friends, the quiet let me breathe. Rachel's calls continued, but I let them go to voicemail. I thought of the signs I'd ignored. Her late nights, her coldness, the way she dismissed my concerns. My letter had been deliberate, written in the hours I waited for her, each word a step toward freedom. I contacted a lawyer not to file for divorce yet, but to know my options, needing clarity in the wreckage she'd left. Rachel showed up the next day, her eyes red, her voice trembling. It was one night, she said, swearing it meant nothing, that she loved me. I looked at her, the woman I'd loved, and said, "You chose him over me in his arms till 6 a.m. My letter was my choice." Her tears fell, my calm hitting harder than any fight. She hadn't expected me to walk away, to end it so decisively. I told her I needed space, that trust was gone. We tried counseling, raw sessions, where Rachel confessed her insecurities, how David's attention had filled a void she felt in our routine. I admitted my hurt, how her betrayal made me question my worth. My letter had stunned her, forced her to face her actions. She cut contact with David, shared her phone, but trust was a fragile thread, hard to reweave. My leaving had shown her I valued myself too much to be second. Months later, we were still apart, navigating a separation. Rachel was trying letters, therapy, transparency, but I wasn't ready to forgive. My final letter had changed us, shown her I wouldn't be a silent victim. One evening, she left a voicemail, her voice soft. "I'm sorry I broke us, Tom." I listened, the pain still sharp but fading, unsure if we could rebuild. Her night with David had shattered our trust, but my letter had given me back my strength. I sat in my friend's spare room, the city humming outside, replaying that morning. Rachel's return at 6 a.m., reeking a betrayal, had broken something. But my letter, calm, final, had set me free. We weren't healed, but we were honest, facing a future uncertain but real. Her choice had hurt, but my response had been a stand, a refusal to let her redefine our marriage. I was still finding my way, but I knew my worth, even if it meant walking alone. Her night in another man's arms had been the end, but my letter was the beginning of a life where I'd choose myself, no matter the cost. As I looked out at the city, I felt a quiet resolve. Rachel's betrayal had wounded me, but my response had carved a path forward, one I'd walk with or without.